Mushroom farming.
Introduction. There is decline in income of farmers in traditional agriculture. To ensure that the farmer gets assured in income year after year, there is a need for diversification in agriculture. That is, needs to cultivate different types of crops. One of the options is to grow mushrooms, which can be grown on straws and other agricultural ways. Unlike plants, mushroom cultivation is an indoor activity. It is possible to grow mushroom in a particular season under natural conditions. It is possible to grow mushrooms throughout the year under controlled conditions. An additional advantage is that very less land is required for growing mushrooms. May decline na income sa mga farmers sa usaping agrikultura. So, to ensure na may income ang mga farmers sa mga susunod na taon, nag-isip sila ng iba't ibang uri ng pagkakakitaan. One of many options is to grow mushrooms, which is easy to grow because you can find it anywhere, especially after the rain. And it can also become an indoor activity. At hindi ito tulad ng ibang halaman, and there is a possibility that mushroom grow in a particular season. You must have seen that after rains, many mushrooms appear from nowhere, especially in grassland, near manure chip, dung, or rotting straws wood. We must be aware that all mushrooms occurring in the nature are not edible. At present, there is no simple method to differentiate an edible mushroom from a non-edible type. Some mushrooms have medicinal value. A few of these are poisonous, and thus it is important to cultivate edible mushrooms. In the subsequent chapters, we will discuss the cultivation of some common edible and medicinal mushrooms. Firstly, let us try to understand what are mushrooms and from where they come. How many types of mushroom are there in the world? Why to grow and eat mushrooms? What mushrooms are cultivated in our country, and what are the basic steps in their cultivation? If you go outside after a heavy rain, you may see a bunch of mushrooms in grassland. We should know that all mushrooms are not edible. Some mushrooms can used to make a medicine, and some are poisonous. That's why it is important to know mushroom is edible and which are not. In the chapter, I will discuss some common edible and medicinal mushroom. But first, we should know that is mushroom and where they come from. How many types of mushroom are there in the world?
A mushroom is the reproductive structure produced by some fungi. It is somewhat like the fruit of a plant, except that the seeds it produces are in fact millions of microscopic spores that forms in the gills or pores underneath the mushroom's cup. Mushrooms are important because they are one of the highest protein providers in the soil where they are grown. As such, they have the potential to ensure sustainable economy as well as nutritional security. Furthermore, the spent mushrooms substrate, such as straw, left over after mushrooms cultivation can be reused as compost of farms. And also, mushroom cultivation can help reduce vulnerability to poverty and strengthens livelihood through the generation of a fast, yielding and nutritious source of food, and a reliable source of income. And then also mushroom is easy to grow and it gives us food, so we should give importance of mushrooms farming if you want to have a better life and place. Sinasabi dito na ang mushroom at iba't ibang uri ng mushrooms ay ang reproductive structure produced by certain fungi. Many of our experts choose to study the different types of mushrooms dahil sa kakaiba nitong taglay at sa kakaiba nitong itsura. Ito ay medyo katulad ng bunga ng isang halaman dahil pinag-aaralan dito ang katulad na lamang ng nagagawang buto ng mga mushrooms kung saan ito nabubuhay. Sinasabi dito na sa katunayan, milyong-milyong mga microscopic spores ang nabubuhay sa mga hasang o pores sa ilalim ng takip ng kabute. We can say that mushrooms are really important to us at lubos na nakakatulong sa atin because isa sila sa mga nagbibigay ng protina sa lupa kung saan sila tinutubuan. It also says that after the cultivation of mushrooms can be used again as compost of farms like other plants. And also the cultivation of mushrooms can help reduce vulnerability to poverty at mas lalong magpalatag ng pinagkukunan ng kabuhayan sa pamamagitan ng pagbuo ng mabilis na ani. Then we should give importance to mushrooms farming if we want to have a good life and place. How do mushrooms grow? Some types of mushrooms are grown in soil but tend to be more complicated to start with. Some of the advantages of mushroom farming is once mushrooms have been harvested, the protein and vitamin-rich fermented agricultural waste they grow on can be fed to ruminants and other farm animals. For beginners, inoculating logs or sterilizing a growing medium like sawdust or wood chips. Inoculating the medium and packing into plastic bags are some accessible projects.
Buddy, what are mushrooms? When we say mushroom, many people think of only button mushroom. This is more so in West as the mushroom industry in the UK and other Western countries is nearly 100% dominated by button mushroom. This could mislead you that this is the only species are considered as mushroom. Actually, there are thousands of different species of mushrooms in nature. So when it comes to mushroom, maraming tao ang nag-iisip ng mushroom button. And over the West, the lumber industry in the UK and other Western countries is almost 100% dominated by button mushrooms. In fact, there are thousands of mushrooms in nature and many more and its various types. Unlike higher plants, mushrooms do not have chlorophyll, green part in leaves, which helps the plants to use water, carbon dioxide and energy from the sun to synthesize their own food. In the absence of chlorophyll, mushrooms cannot produce their own food and depend on higher plants for food. Mushrooms obtain nutrients from organic materials like straw, dead wood, manure, dung, etc. So, unlike daw sa other plants na matataas, mushrooms do not have chlorophyll with the green component in leaves that helps plants use water, carbon dioxide, and energy that from the direct of the sun to synthesize their own food. And because in the absence of chlorophyll, mushrooms cannot produce their own food and rely on taller plants for food. And mushrooms are said to be able to extract nutrients from various organic materials. Next, mushrooms are one of the highest producers of protein per unit of land area and time, such as they have the potential to ensure a sustainable economy as well as nutritional security. Moreover, the spent mushroom substrate like straw left after mushroom cultivation can be reused as compost on farms. Although a lot is known about how mushrooms can benefit humans, little attention is given to the importance of mushrooms to the forest. So, mushrooms are one of the most important protein producers per unit area and time of soil, such as they have the potential to ensure a sustainable economy as well as nutrition security. Furthermore, they spent mushroom substrate such as straw. Leftover after mushroom cultivation can be reused as compost on farms. Although much is known about how mushrooms can benefit humans, little attention is given to the importance of mushroom in the forest. Fungi, along with bacteria, are great recyclers and will return much of the dead material like leaves and dead animals found in porous to soil. Reishi mushrooms are a type of mushrooms that are rare mushroom that grow at the base of deciduous trees. Some people report that reishi mushrooms can boost the immune system, fight cancer, and alleviate the symptoms of many other health conditions. What does the mushroom symbolize? Toadstool versions are hallucinogenic and they are usually considered symbols of good fortune. Mushrooms also represent rapid growth, and due to this unusual physical characteristic, edible mushrooms can also cause some side effects in certain individuals with fungi allergies because they belong to the fungus group. So such individuals should take treatment and avoid consuming mushrooms in the future after experiencing early symptoms. What are the negative effects of mushrooms on our health? Here's some of the adverse effects on our health of mushrooms. First, fatigue, stomach upset, absent-minded, skin allergies, tingling sensation, prevention during pregnancy, headaches, anxiety, mental illness, and dizziness. But what most of us don't know is that mushrooms are more than just a popular food. They can also be grown in ways that improve the overall health and efficiency of plant and animal systems. Here are 6 ways which mushrooms are more than just a superfood. Creating food from waste, fills downtime, provide missing nutrients, improve animal feed, building land, and supporting crops and fertilizer cutting. Three major types of mushroom harvest are button mushroom, oyster mushroom, and the third one is paddy straw mushrooms. These mushrooms have separate importance and grow in different styles by using unique techniques and methods. To grow mushrooms, a special bed is prepared that is called compost bed. Here are 3 major types of mushroom harvest, and those mushrooms have a separate importance and grow in different style using a unique techniques and other methods. And to grow mushrooms, they prepared a special bed that they call it compost bed. Button mushrooms has a lot of offer when it comes to vitamins and minerals. The most notable may be the vitamin D content. There aren't a lot of foods that contain significant amount of natural vitamin D. Mushrooms are one of the only foods with natural vitamin D, a vitamin that helps keep your bones and immune system strong. And they're also rich in antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and anti-tumor or anti-cancer compounds that can help fight off chronic disease and keep you healthy. Mushrooms can make nutritionally relevant amounts of vitamin D when they're exposed to the sun. Oyster mushrooms are gourmet and also widely popular. Up and coming is maytake, also known as hen of the woods. It's so named because it has a slight chicken taste and is popular with cooks and chefs. Pleurotus or Striatus, the oyster mushroom, oyster fungus, or hirotake, is a common edible mushroom. It was first cultivated in Germany as a subsistence measure during World War I and is now grown commercially around the world for food. It is related to the similarly cultivated king oyster mushroom. Paddy straw mushroom is having a good combinations of all attributes like flavor, aroma, delicacy, high content of protein and vitamins and minerals, because of which the acceptability of this mushroom is no way less than much popular with button mushrooms. Since then, its cultivation has been conducted in various countries outside of the region, The fruiting body formation starts with tiny clusters of white hyphal aggregates called primordia, and it's followed by several morphological stages in the fruiting body development process. The successive stages are called as button, eggs, and elongation, mature stages respectively. Difference, differentiation can be seen first at the button stage. At maturity, the buttons enlarge and umbrella-like fruit bodies emerge after the rupture of the bulba. Mushrooms are not only a quality food but also a way of utilizing agricultural waste and generating wealth from the waste. The material left after growing mushrooms, commonly referred as spent mushroom substrate or SMS, can be processed into manure. Thus, mushroom cultivation is an important method to promote sustainable manure-based farming. Addition of spent mushroom substrate is also reported to improve the soil health. The very fact that mushrooms can be cultivated on paddy straw and number of other agricultural waste, many of which are just burnt, is sufficient reason to grow mushrooms. By growing mushrooms, we are not only producing a quality food but are also creating a healthy environment. The very fact that mushrooms can be cultivated on paddy straw and number of other agricultural waste, many of which are just burned, is sufficient reason to grow mushrooms. The material left after growing mushrooms, commonly referred as spent mushroom substrate or SMS, can be processed into manure. Mushrooms are not only a quality food but also a way of utilizing agricultural waste and generating wealth from the waste.
More importantly, it leads to employment generation and women empowerment. With increasing population, the land is shrinking in mushroom. Cultivation utilizes vertical space and requires minimal land, making it possible to promote mushrooms in very urban and urban areas also. Mushrooms are considered to be the highest protein producers per unit area per unit time. Higit sa lahat, ito ay humahantong sa employment generation at women empowerment. Sa pagtaas ng populasyon, lumiliit ang lupa at ang paglilinang ng kabute ay gumagamit ng patayong espasyo at nangangailangan ng kaunting lupain na ginagawang posible na isulong ang mga kabute sa paligid ng mga lungsod at kalunsuran. Ang mga kabute ay itinuturing na pinakamataas na gumagawa ng protina sa bawat unit ng lugar, bawat unit ng oras. Why to eat mushrooms? Our ancestors were collecting mushrooms from the forests and fields. These were considered as a delicacy, and in some civilizations, these were considered as the food for the kings. After cultivation of mushrooms, these have become available to all in large amounts. Now we know that these are a quality food, having health benefits. In fact, mushrooms are among the best vegetarian food available. Mushrooms are a rich protein source having essential amino acids with high digestibility. Mushrooms have all the 9 essential amino acids required by the human beings. We have problem of malnutrition in our country. Mushrooms can contribute in solving this problem. Ang mga ninuno ay nangongolekta ng mga kabute mula sa kagubatan at bukid. Ang mga ito ay tinuturing na isang delicacy at sa ilang mga sibilisasyon, ang mga ito ay tinuturing na pagkain para sa mga hari. Pagkatapos ng paglilinang ng mga kabute, ang mga ito ay naging available sa lahat sa malalaking halaga. Ngayon, alam na natin na ito ay isang dekalidad na pagkain na may mga benepisyong pangkalusugan. Sa katunayan, ang mga kabute ay kabilang sa pinakamahusay na pagkaing vegetarian na magagamit. Ang mga mushroom ay isang mayaman na mapagkukunan ng protina, mayroong mahalagang amino acids na may mataas na pagtunaw. Ang mga kabote ay may lahat na siyam na mahalagang amino acid na may kinakailangan ng mga tao. Mushrooms are good for heart as they have low fat, and some of the mushrooms have compounds like lovastatin in the oyster mushroom that are known to lower the cholesterol in the blood. Moreover, mushrooms have low sodium and high potassium contents, and thus are suitable food for persons suffering from high blood pressure. Ang mga mushroom ay mabuti para sa puso dahil ang mga ito ay may mababang taba at ang ilan sa mga mushroom ay may mga compound tulad ng lovastatin sa oyster mushroom na kilala na nagpapababa ng kolesterol sa dugo. Higit pa rito, ang mga kabote ay may mababang sodium at mataas na potassium na nilalaman at sa gayon ay angkop sa pagkain para sa mga taong dumaranas ng mataas na presyon ng dugo. Mushrooms are a low-calorie food with no starch and also have number of antioxidants and hence considered the light of diabetics. These are also rich in fibers and hence good for the intestine and digestive system. These are also a very good source of vitamins, especially vitamin B complex. Mushrooms are the only vegetarian source of vitamin D. If we expose mushrooms to UV light after harvest for some time or exposed to sunlight, the vitamin D content increases many folds. These also have vitamin B12 which is not available in plants. These are also rich in minerals which also include copper, heart protective, and selenium, anti-cancer. Ang mga mushroom ay isang mababang calorie na pagkain na walang starch at mayroon ding bilang ng mga antioxidant at sa makatuwid ay itinuturing na kasiyahan ng mga diabetic. Ang mga ito ay mayaman din sa fibers at sa makatuwid ay mabuti para sa bituka at digestive system. Ang mga ito ay isa ring napakagandang mapagkukunan ng mga bitamina, lalo na ang mga bitamina B complex. Ang mga kabote ay ang tanging vegetarian na pinagmumulan ng bitamina D. Kung ilantad natin ang mga kabote sa UV light pagkatapos ng pag-aani ng ilang panahon o ilantad sa sikat ng araw, ang nilalaman ng bitamina D ay tataas ng maraming beses. Ang mga ito ay mayroon ding bitamina B12 na hindi makukuha sa mga halaman. Ang mga ito ay mayayaman din sa mga mineral na kinabibilangan din ng tanso, protection sa puso at selenium, anti-cancer. Characteristics: high quality protein, low sodium, high potassium, no starch, low sugar, no cholesterol, rich in fiber, only vegetable with vitamin D, folic acid, vitamin B and minerals, ascorbic acid, and carotenoids, low-calorie food, selenium. Benefits: combats malnutrition, controls hypertension, the light of diabetics, healthy heart, improves digestion, cures rickettsia, improves health, antioxidant, reduce obesity, anti-cancer property. Katangian: mataas na kalidad ng protina, mababang sodium, mataas na potassium, walang almirol, mababang asukal, walang kolesterol, mayaman sa fiber, tanging gulay na may bitamina D, folic acid, bitamina B at mineral, ascorbic acid at carotenoids, mababang calorie na pagkain, selenium. Benepisyo: labanan ang malnutrition, kinokontrol ang hypertension, kasiyahan ng mga diabetic, malusog na puso, nagpapabuti ng panunaw, nagpapagaling ng rickettsia, nagpapabuti ng kalusugan, antioxidant, binabawasan ng labis na katabaan, pag-aari ng anti-cancer. Many of the mushrooms are known to have medicinal and antiviral properties, and their consumption activates the immune system of the human body. Compounds from number of mushrooms have found application in cancer. Research and numbers of them have been summarized in Figure 1.9. As mentioned earlier, mushrooms can be easily digested. Now we know that this can meet out nutritional needs and thus are a health food. Marami sa mga mushroom ay kilala na may mga panggamot at antiviral properties at ang kanilang pagkonsumo ay nagpapagana sa immune system ng katawan ng tao. Ang mga compound mula sa bilang ng mga kabute ay nakikita ng aplikasyon sa pananaliksik, sa cancer at ang mga bilang ng mga ito ay naisa-summarize sa Figure 1.9. Gaya ng nabanggit kanina, ang mga mushroom ay madaling matunaw. Ngayon, alam na natin na matutugunan ng mga ito ang mga pangangailangan sa nutrisyon at sa gayon ay isang pagkaing pangkalusugan. Mushrooms are neither plant or animal but belong to a separate kingdom called fungi. Ang mushroom ay hindi halaman o hayop, ngunit kabilang sa isang hiwalay na kaharian na tinatawag na fungi. These are thousands of edible mushrooms in nature, but we have succeeded in cultivating only a few. Ito ay libo-libong nakakakain ng kabute sa kalikasan, ngunit nagtagumpay tayo sa paglilinang ng iilan lamang. 6 mushrooms, namely shiitake, oyster, wood ear, button, winter mushroom, and paddy straw mushroom account for 90% of the total world mushroom production. 6 na mushroom na shiitake, oyster, wood ear, button, winter mushroom at paddy straw mushroom ang account para sa 90% ng kabuuang production ng mushroom sa mundo. Mushroom cultivation requires labor in addition to agricultural waste. This creates employment for farmers. During lean season, women and school dropouts and other people interested in secondary agriculture. Ang pagtatanim ng kabute ay nangangailangan ng paggawa bilang karagdagan sa mga basurang pang-agrikultura. Lumilikha ito ng trabaho para sa mga magsasaka. Sa panahon ng lean season, na mga kababaihan at mga humihinto sa pag-aaral at iba pang mga taong interesado sa pangalawang agrikultura. Mushrooms cultivation does not require much of land. These can even be grown in houses in urban and peri-urban areas. Ang paglilinang ng kabute ay hindi nangangailangan ng maraming lupa. Ang mga ito ay maaari pa ngang itanim sa mga bahay, sa urban at peri-urban areas. Mushroom are a quality food and only vegetable having vitamin D and B12. Ang mga kabute ay isang dekalidad na pagkain at gulay lamang ang may bitamina D at B12. Basic steps in mushroom cultivation are spawn, substrate, and cropping. The rate and method of spawning, method of preparation of compost, and condition required for fruiting differ from species to species. Ang mga pangunahing hakbang sa paglilinang ng kabute ay ang pag-spawn, substrate at pag-crop, ang rate at paraan ng pangingitlog, paraan ng paghahanda ng compost, at mga kondisyon na kinakailangan para sa fruiting ay naiiba sa bawat species. Build soil and amend animal feed. Mushrooms are the world's composters, and growing mushrooms means you can have a steady supply of high-quality organic material ready for your garden, beds, fields, or to add to your compost pile. Like spent brewery grains, spent mushrooms, substrate can also be an excellent addition to animal feed, proving extra nutrients and antioxidants. Ang mga mushroom ay mga composter ng mundo, at ang lumalaking mushroom ay nangangahulugan na maaari kang magkaroon ng tuloy-tuloy na supply ng mataas na kalidad na organikong material na handa para sa iyong mga higaan sa hardin. Tulad ng mga ginugol na butil sa paggawa ng serbesa, ang ginugol na mushroom substrate ay maaari din maging isang mahusay na karagdagan sa feed ng hayop na nagpapatunay ng mga karagdagang sustansya at antioxidant. Marketing mushroom. The market for mushrooms continues to grow due to interest in their culinary, nutritional, and health benefits. They also show potential for use in waste management. However, as fungi, mushrooms have life cycles very different from those of green plants. The choice of species to raise depends both on the growth media available and on market considerations. Oyster mushrooms, which grow on many substrates, are easiest for a beginner. Shiitake mushrooms already have earned considerable consumer demand. Only two mycorrhizal mushrooms, morels and truffles, have been commercially cultivated. Mushrooms cultivation offers benefits to market gardens when it is integrated into the existing production system. A careful analysis of potential markets must be the first step in deciding whether to raise mushroom to sell. Ang merkado para sa mushroom ay patuloy na lumalaki dahil sa interest sa kanilang culinary, nutritional at health benefits. Nagpapakita rin sila ng potensyal para magamit sa pamamahala ng basura. Gayunpaman, bilang fungi, ang mga mushroom ay may mga siklo ng buhay na ibang-iba sa mga berdeng halaman. Ang pagpili ng mga species na aalagaan ay depende sa parehong paglago, media na magagamit at sa mga pagsasaalang-alang sa merkado. Ang mga oyster mushroom na tumutubo sa maraming substrate ay pinakamadali para sa isang baguhan. Ang mga kabute ng shiitake ay nakakakuha na ng malaking pangangailangan ng mga mamimili.
Conclusion. Mushroom is important farmers because it can be used to reduce vulnerability to poverty and strengthen livelihoods through the generation of a fast-yielding and nutritious source of food and reliable source of income, and mushroom are one of the most popular and versatile gifts of nature. It can be mixed into any food preparation or can be processed to give a new product. A lot of mushroom products are currently available in market, such as mushroom pickles, seasonings, beverage extracts, dried and canned mushroom supplements, cosmetic, etc. Based on this, mushroom is important farming. It is also important to farmers because it can help to reduce poverty and have a good and fast harvest. Mushroom is famous in food projects, one of which is the food now generation that we have samgyeopsal with mushrooms. Samgyeopsal is famous now, also the reason why mushroom are bought now, and mushroom are now available in the market, so it can be bought and harvested quickly. Apart from the mushroom food product, many innovative products are emerging in other industries as well, as such as mushroom-based building materials, medicine, mycelium-based platforms, biodegradable packaging, mycelium-based leather, etc.
Mushrooms are easy to cultivate, have quick growth, and low carbon emission and waste generation. The fungi is a good source of income generation for the growers and also provide additional benefits due to its processing. Hence, mushroom holes are being featured in every aspect owing to its diverse properties. Based on this, the mushroom is a good source of income and it's also easy to cultivate. The mushroom is said to have many benefits. The mushroom is not only suitable for foods because there is more that can be done here. It can be used as medicine, etc. Display intellectual competence on the knowledge about the usefulness of mushroom in agriculture, health and industrial point of view and scope of income. Developed in the mushroom cultivation. Sure, if more people understood where food comes from, they would consider agriculture and mushroom farming friendly to the environment. Rapidly developing communities may begin to tolerate our farms and agriculture. Promoting mushroom farming as environmentally friendly should be a long-term educational goal of industry. Based on this, mushrooms are beneficial to agriculture, health and industrial outlook, and income range, and accordingly the rapid development of communities can begin to tolerate our farms and agriculture. Promoting mushroom farming as an environment should be a long-term educational goal of the industry.
Thank you for watching.